Well, because it's 50 years since the flood happened in 1956, each town was asked to form a committee to look at ways of, I don't know if you celebrate a flood, but you remember a flood and the impact it had on for our children's sake, because a lot of people wouldn't have realised what the conditions were at that time, and it's good to reflect on what happened 50 years ago.
This is the scrapbook that I made as the photos appeared in the Daily Advertiser.
The floods varied in different parts of the river depending on the low-lying lands. Up at Swan Reach, the hotel was submerged. All the town was basically submerged in water. Some towns got away with it with minimal because they have high cliff face, and the towns were actually built a lot higher.
We were given the 1931 flood level, and that was the highest up until 56. Well then, that's when everything got out, because nobody could foretell the volume of water. The wharf behind you there rose about 30 centimetres above that. So it was probably about this high. And when you go on the barge, you'll see the flood line on the railway pylon. That shows you how high. So when this went off, my father would say to me, "We're not busy now today, away you go," because it was like a camaraderie. When you see all these people out filling sandbags and stopping the water and things like that, you think, well, at last we've stopped the water, but it was all in vain. A lot of the residents had to be shifted away with their stock.
Had some miscalculations at the time, and one would think we're better served now with information on how to handle them.
It was nearly 2 years before the fruit trees could get back into production. Up to the roofs, the gutters and things like that, that was the damage that was there. But it wasn't how high it came, it was how long it was, because it took 3-4 months to gradually build up to the peak, and then after that, for the dairies to dry out before they could sow their pastures to get the cattle back.
If that case ever happened again today, we would have plenty of warning and they would be able to hold most of the water back in the locks. So we'll never get to see another 1956 floods.
Well, it's a bit ironic, isn't it, that we're celebrating or remembering the flood, the biggest flood we've ever had in the year, is probably the biggest drought we've ever had. And I guess the river being such an important part of Australia, especially on the eastern side here, and particularly South Australia, I think we need to understand that what we have as a human race have done to the river needs to be really looked at, because it is not sustainable what we're doing to it.